Hello and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Dr. Dewey Stevens. Today I'm excited. We're going to do a special recipe. I'm going to be doing a black bean gnocchi with a cilantro cream sauce. So I've got some black beans here and some spices, some ingredients. I think one of the keys to doing this recipe is trying to follow the same sort of ratios you would if you were going to be doing a gnocchi. So when I do gnocchi, I typically do about 3/4 of a cup of flour to 1 pound of potatoes and 1 egg. So that's sort of my go-to ratio. Obviously, you can amend it as needed for different types of recipes. So I'm going to be doing the same with the black beans, but one of the things I want to do with the black beans is I want to dry them out. There's a lot of moisture in the beans. So these are rinsed and drained and rinsed. So I've got them on the sheet pan, I've got the oven preheating. I'm going to put these in the oven and dry them out. I don't want to bake them, so I've got it about 250 right now, about 20 minutes, just enough to get some of the moisture out of it, because I really want, you don't want too much moisture in your gnocchi, otherwise the texture doesn't turn out right. So I want to get a lot of the moisture out of the beans and really have a lot of the moisture come from the egg and a little bit of water if needed. You know, as you work with pasta dough, sometimes you just need a little bit extra water to get the dough going. This being gnocchi doesn't work exactly like you would a regular pasta. And given that it's black beans, it's gonna be an adventure. So I'm gonna put these in the oven and we're gonna dry them out. I've also got some other ingredients here. The cream sauce, I'm gonna be doing sort of a traditional style cream sauce with some onions and some chicken stock. But I'm going to be adding some lime, some cilantro. One of the other things I'm going to be doing with the pasta is when I make black beans, these are just from a can, but when I do make black beans from scratch, I often use a few ingredients. I've got some cumin and some Mexican oregano, and then just granulated onion, granulated garlic mixture. So I'm going to add that into the pasta dough just to give the pasta a little extra flavor, infuse some of those Latin flavors, right? So that's going to be our recipe today. So stick with me and we're going to go ahead and get started on this. Okay, beans are going in the oven. Whenever I'm working with cilantro, you can work to peel all the leaves off. It is tedious, and I opt to usually skip that step just because I'm lazy. I don't want to. But also, when you're working with cilantro, lots of times, a lot of the flavor comes from the stem, and so I usually will cut off a little good portion, but I leave a lot of the stem intact. And I'm just going to go ahead and chop this as fine as I can. Because this is going in a cream sauce, I do want it finely chopped so we get as much flavor out of it as we can, and so we don't have big chunks of stem or leaf in the sauce. I want it to be as fine as you can. But just like always, it's not going to be perfect. That's fine. You're zesting your limes. Kind of try to just make sure you get the first layer. If you grind too deep, then you get a lot of the rind, and that can be bitter. So you don't have to grate it to death. That's more or less good. And your cutting board and bowl. And I've got a juicer here. You can do this by hand with a fork. If you've got other kinds of juicers, I got this one. This is pretty nice. Just squeeze it down. You might be saying, well, I can cook too if I had everything pre-measured in those nice little glass bowls. I used to say that when I was watching cooking TV or cooking shows. I had asked for these for Christmas one year, kind of was just like, you know, it would be nice if I had some little glass bowls, and I think it was my mother-in-law bought these for me, and it was one of the best Christmas presents I ever had. It's just, they're fun, right? You can see what's in them, and they're really actually very practical, so it works out well. All right, welcome back. We've got our beans out of the oven. They've been roasted about 20 minutes. So you can see they're a little dry. Some of them will split a little bit, and that's fine. We just really wanted to get a lot of the moisture out. You can do this a couple ways. I'm going to cheat and use a food processor, which may or may not be cheating. I'll leave it up to you. If you don't have a food processor, just a potato masher works good, or even a fork. A fork is a bit laborious, but it works. I've used it in the past. So I'm just gonna do my best to dump these in here. And so all we want to do is give them a few good pulses. We don't want to like puree them or anything, but we do want them, you know, mashed up as good as we can, so that it mixes well with the flour and whatnot. So. Okay, I think that's good. You can see. As you can see, because we dried them out, they didn't form a paste. They're sort of more crumbly, like a dough, which is good. So I'm going to dump this into our flour. This is three quarters of a cup of 0-0 flour. I always, when I make pasta, I use 0-0 flour or pizza dough. If you don't have that, you know, all-purpose flour works adequately. I just find that you could get a better texture with 0-0 flour. So if you don't have it, don't sweat it. Just use it all-purpose; it'll be fine. I'm gonna add a little salt. If you have just regular salt, that works. I'm gonna add a little bit of this pink Himalayan salt, and then our Mexican oregano and cumin, and onion and garlic. I'm gonna sort of pre-mix this up a little bit, just to get it a little bit combined, to sort of become this one cohesive flour mixture, if you will. Okay. Now the egg. Mix this up. Now this won't come together like a traditional pasta. I would say it's more analogous to like maybe like a short crust, and that's fine. We don't want it to be a dough per se, because of the texture. We don't want to form a lot of gluten, so we don't want to overwork this. We just want to get enough to combine it so that the egg has a chance to mix with all of the flour that it can. Sprinkle some flour on the counter in here. A really good dry surface. I've got a sheet pan here with a silicone baking mat. Whenever I make pasta, try to, when I need to rest it, make sure I set it on something non-stick, and then cover it with a damp cloth. I'll do that in a bit. But I want to get to forming the pasta here, and the dough rather. So kind of what you do is you take it into, I'm going to make this into two forms. Sort of form it into a log, and then sort of roll it out where you don't want to overwork it. So just make sure you roll it out. These are some thin little strips here. And then we're going to start our cutting. They will expand when we boil them, so you do want to cut them a little on the small side. It's totally up to you. I try to keep them bite size, so just little portions. Kind of look like little candy bars. Black bean pasta candy bars. It's weird. The tricks I like to do is just to moisten a paper towel. Don't need a lot of water, just enough to keep it damp. And just lay it over top. And the pasta won't dry out. Okay, we're gonna set this aside. And I'm gonna do a little cleanup and we're gonna get started on the sauce. Everyone, as you can see, we've got our finished product here. We have got a black bean gnocchi with a cilantro lime cream sauce. This is the first of our Latin infusion menu for the season. Keep an eye out for my next episode. It's going to be a Latin infused Israeli couscous salad. I want to thank everyone for watching. If you would, please hit that like button and consider subscribing if you want to see similar content. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.